Damn it! Oh, I hate anchors and acrylic, dude. Oh. Thinking about installing a sliding bathtub door yourself? In this video, I'll walk you through the entire installation step by step, from measuring and assembling the frame to mounting the doors and making sure everything slides smoothly and seals properly. Let's get started. Now, as with any job, not just this one, we want to make sure we're prepared and have everything before we start. Save yourself some trips to the hardware store. Make sure you have everything you need right in front of you. Now for this job, I've got an impact driver, I've got a drill here, so I've got a rubber mallet here, I've got screwdrivers, a couple of different ones. I need a caulking gun, again, for the sealant, and this is going to be a silicone kitchen and bath sealant is your best option here. I have a handheld bandsaw, but a hacksaw would be just fine. I've got drill bits here. I've got a level, and 2 foot or 4 foot level works. Really just depends on the size of your door. Tape measure, and like I said, a couple screwdriver, and make sure you have some bits. But for any job to be successful and complete it in a reasonable time frame, you need to be prepared first. So make sure you got the tools for the job. First thing we want to do, and this should have happened before you ever ordered the door, is measure this up. So we're going to measure the top here, get our measurement there, and then we want to measure up the sides as well. So this one is 56.5. So I want to make sure that I can, whatever door I buy, can be cut down to that 56.5, because usually they don't make them to a standard size. Usually they give you a range where they will fall in. So make sure you know that, make sure you get the right door. Same with the height here. You want to make sure you get the right height. Now, the other thing that's important here is the rim of the tub. A lot of shower doors will not fit on a thinner rim. So this one specifically requires at least 3.5. And so you just want to make sure that works too. Now, the other important part of this is to make sure the threshold is level. And it is. This is a new tub. I'm not terribly worried about it. Now, we're not worried about this because the top and the bottom, this has always got a little angle at it. So the top is going to be different than the bottom. So your measurement here is going to vary a little bit by the style of door you have. Mine is 53 and 7/32, which is just under 1/4 of an inch. So it's just under 53 1/4. Now I'm going to mark this. Like I said, this is only, I got 16ths here, so it's going to be close enough. So that should work for me. And then I'm going to mark it on the other side as well. So before I actually start drilling any holes, I want to determine where I want my glass to slide at, and how far I need to set this back from the edge of the shower. So if I set this, a lot of times, some people say 1 inch. Well, if I go 1 inch, I'm going to be right here on the edge, and I want to give it a little bit more room than that. So I'm going to set this back 5/8. So that means I'm 5/8 from here to here. And assuming my tub doesn't bow, because that's the other thing. If your tub swings out, that could be a little bit of a challenge too if you get a wider base. So you want to make sure you're aware of that. So up here, I want to set this back from the edge of the tub 5/8. So that's going to be right there. And then I want to do this exact same thing on the other side. Now, the brackets I'm using aren't that big, but I do want to make sure that this is straight up and down. Now take your bracket, line it up on your marks here. That's why I like to make a edge there, a corner, so I know exactly where I want it. Then again, want to make sure it's level. Now for this door, we're doing 1/4 inch. So we want to drill 2 1/4 inch pilot holes. Now, hopefully there's something in behind this. There should be, but we may have missed that stud. So we will need the anchors most likely. Now, unfortunately, we have nothing back there, so we will have to use the anchors. Sometimes you have a stud back there and it's nice, but this one not in case. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you know I do not like the cheap plastic anchors that usually come when you buy something. So this is the anchor. Honestly, I drilled 1/4 inch holes and it didn't fit very well. It doesn't go in right. So I'm not going to use it. If you have another anchor, use another plastic anchor. Don't use toggle bolts or flip toggles or anything like that, because that's going to scratch up potentially the acrylic on the backside and could potentially crack it, because there's the shower door is going to move. So the plastic is just better in this scenario. That being said, you do want a heavy duty. You don't want just a cheap one. I like these little plastic ones. They expand in multiple places, and they will fit, and they have the lip. The other ones don't have the lip. So these will go in better. I think they'll hold better. So I'm going to use these. And these will still work with the screws that came with it. So that's not an issue. I'm still not going to be drilling anything at this point. I'm still going to use my screwdriver to set these in place. And if you're not sure how to use these anchors, check out my video up in the corner here. That'll go over how to use all these anchors properly. Now we want to measure for our top bracket here, and it wants to go all the way up to this piece here. We've got some extra room, so if we're a little short, that's okay. But I got 55 1/8. That should be fine. I'm definitely not cutting this inside. This style, we're putting these little end caps on. So we're going to put that on both sides. Slide it down on the other end. And up top, we got these. Just tighten these down. All right, so now we're going to put on the wheel assemblies here. Put this through it like that. This goes through the glass. On the back side, we have a washer that goes on the wheel. And then you can put the other washer on that. Put the wheel and washer on that. So it's tight. You don't need to have it be, you want to crack the glass, then we'll go do the other one. And then you also have this metal piece here that will screw on as well. And that just covers up this side. Now we got these, and the long side goes on the wheel side. With the wheels, there's always little adjustments that can be made. So no, the hole is not ever in the center, because you want to have the ability to make some adjustments on it. And there is a little protective sheathing that goes over the screw. So as you see, this guy wants to roll down a little bit, so we can lift this up here. So on this here, I want to make this a little higher. So what I can do, I'll loosen this and watch the top there. And what I can do is turn this. I'll raise that up and then just tighten it back down. I want it to sink down more, so I can adjust this so that it's down lower and it sits a little bit tighter up against the edge there. So as you can see there, it's a little bit tighter. I don't have as much of a gap going all the way down as I did before. Now this one looks okay, but if you see, you go to the end, you got a big gap there, and it's not, it's bigger at the bottom than it is at the top. So we need to make an adjustment on it. We're gonna start with this going down a little bit and see how that does. So let's take this off. Now, I'm gonna adjust the wheel a little bit. As you see, this goes down a little. So that looks pretty good. Now what we want to do is we want to install our swing bar or whatever it is, basically the middle piece that separates these two and keeps them straight. Now we're going to take this thing, and this is going to have this little hook. It needs to be on the outside. So put your glass through. I want to mark our center here. That plumb, get this thing where it needs to be, and it should fall back into place. And then we're going to mark it. Now, if you don't have a pencil that goes all the way down, just mark about halfway there. And then now you know where plumb's at. We'll remove this. I ended up removing the doors just because the shower base was a little bit tighter, but you don't necessarily need to do that. If you can push the doors out of the way, you can still drill your hole, put that in. But for me, it was just easier to remove the shower doors. So I'm going to leave one door off, and this should still work. So I ended up installing the bottom rail a little bit differently, mainly because I was having issues with the acrylic anchors that came with the door. Like I said, they were garbage. I definitely recommend using the anchors that I talk about here later in the video. But once the rail is positioned correctly, you can drill the 2 remaining holes through the threshold and then secure the rail in place. Then after it's tightened down, go ahead and apply your silicone to both sides of the rail and then on the ends as well. This will create that watertight seal and helps keep the water where it belongs, which is in the tub. Now, the last few pieces of this are just your rubber strips here that are going to go on the doors. And then we are going to put the handles on, and then we're going to seal this up. So these are pretty easy to install. They do need to go tightly and secure. So there should be 4 of them, at least for this door there is. It should be the right length. So I'm going to start at the top. Let's get this on, and then I'm going to push it. They maybe have a little bit of extra, but that I don't have a problem with at the bottom. If I need to trim it, I can. And this is also going to be what protects those edges when the door gets closed. Now we're going to install the handles for the doors, and they're pretty easy. So if you're usually going to get in from this side, you want to have the handlebar out here. But if you're going to get in from over there, you're going to have the bar on the outside so you can pull it open. So it really just depends on what the customer wants and which side you're going to get in on, what you're used to. Now, the last thing we're going to do here is apply our silicone sealant. And again, this needs to be silicone. The only reason it's really difficult is because of the drywall anchors. If you got something back in behind here, great. But if you got nothing to secure it to, you're stuck using these drywall anchors they have. And these are, like I said, for the most part, they're pretty much junk. The difficulty was it said it was supposed to be a 1/4-inch hole, but they were really difficult to get into a 1/4-inch hole. I went to a larger drywall anchor, and it still didn't work great because at a certain point, once you keep tightening it down, it starts spinning because there's nothing really to hold it. So it becomes a challenge to get it in there. Now, the one thing I really like for these is these plastic toggle bolts. The idea is that you can put it in, and then you take this pop toggle and you push that back, and the back will expand out and then tighten up to this. So it doesn't spin as much. Once you start tightening it down, it's going to get a little bit more tight and it's going to spin less. Unlike the other ones where the tighter I got, the more it spun. So it was very frustrating. The other thing that's nice about these is they do hold quite a bit of weight. This says up to 124 pounds in 1/4 inch plywood. This isn't plywood, but it's 1/8 inch acrylic, or maybe even a little thicker, up to 3/8 of an inch acrylic. So these do hold pretty well, and they got a lot of strength behind them. So like I said, if I'd have used these in the beginning, I would have saved myself quite a bit of time. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.